Hey everybody, this is Peaches here. Today we're going to be working on multiples of 9, or a strategy for figuring out times 9 facts. Remember, our is to learn to fluently, which means, quickly and efficiently, multiply small numbers. So slowly but surely, we could be filling in our multiplication table as we talk about these strategies. Let's review the meaning of the word multiple. So remember, a multiple is a number that is the product of a given whole number and any other whole number. So in this case, we're thinking about multiples of 9. Now, one way we can name multiples of 9 is to skip count by that number. So if we skip count by 9s, we would have 9, 18. 9 more than 18 is 27. 9 more than 27 is 36. 9 more than 36 is 45. 9 more than 45 is 54. All of those would be multiples of 9. What would the next multiple of 9 be? Okay, let's move on with our strategy. So to figure out times 9 facts, we're going to do what math ninjas do, which is use something that's a little bit easier. We use things that we already know to help us figure out something that we don't. So we're going to use what we know about tens facts. And this strategy is called tens minus one set facts. And it's a way to figure out our times 9. All right, let's take a look at what Greg Tang has for us in terms of a little ditty. It's called 9 Ball. It goes like this. 9 is faster to compute. If at first you overshoot, here's a very clever tack. Do 10 times and then subtract. So let's take a closer look at this. When Greg Tang says overshoot, what he means is we're going to kind of go too far. So to figure out 9 groups of 7, we're going to go too far. We're going to figure out what 10 groups of 7 is, because that's a little easier for us. And then we just have to subtract that extra set of 7. So 70 minus 7 is 63. Let's take a look at this model and it might begin to make even more sense to you. So if we're trying to figure out 9 times 6, look on the left, and you're going to see first, we're going to figure out what 10 groups of 6 is. We're going to overshoot. 10 groups of 6 is 60. So now if we go to the figure on the right, we can see at the top where the arrow's pointing, we have an extra set of 6 because we only need 9 sixes. So if we take 10 sixes, which is 60, and we subtract that extra set of 6, we get 54. And that tells us that 9 groups of 6 is 54. There are different strategies for every single digit multiplication problem. Do you have another good strategy for multiplying by 9? If so, I'm going to give you a chance to show an example. Okay, let's do some practicing. It says multiply each number in the grid by 9. Write each answer in the box. The first one is done for you. So let's talk about the first one. We were trying to figure out 9 groups of 5, or 9 times 5. So if you look at the bottom, I want you to see that there's 9 times 5. Get a little pointer here. So I have 9 times 5, but to figure it out, I'm going to overshoot. I'm going to do 10 times 5. That's a little easier for me to figure out. And that gives me 50. But I've got to take away that extra set of 5 from my 50. And 50 minus 5 is 45. So I know that 9 times 5 is 45. So I'm going to give you a chance here to solve a couple more of these problems. Remember, work carefully. Okay, Nice work. So I'd like you to try, we're going to work together to try using the 10 minus 1 set strategy to solve some single digit by double digit numbers. I think you might find this strategy even more helpful. So we'll do some together. We're going to start by trying to figure out 9 times 15. And I want you to pause the video, just pause it here and see if you can figure that out based on what you know so far. And then Mrs. Peters will show you her strategy. Okay, I hope you've given it a try. Here's how Mrs. Peters decided to solve it using the tens minus 1 set strategy. So I overshot. I did 10 groups of 15 because I know that's 150. But then I had to subtract that extra set of 15 from 150. Well, 150 minus 10 is 140, and minus 5 more is 135. So that tells me that 9 groups of 15 is going to be 135. Okay, let's try another one. I hope it might be starting to make more sense to you. Remember, all of these strategies take practice. Okay, we're going to try and solve 9 times 25. And again, I want you to pause the video and on a piece of paper, see if you can use this strategy or another one to figure out what 9 groups of 25 is. Okay, I hope you have a product and you've given it a try. This is how Mrs. Peters used the tens minus 1 set strategy to solve this problem. Again, I overshot. I did 10 groups of 25, which is 250. But then I had to subtract that extra set of 25 from 250. And I think, well, if I have 50, I'm thinking of quarters. If I take away a quarter or 25 cents, I end up with 25. I know that 250 minus 25 is equal to 225. And there I go. That tells me that my answer to 9 groups of 25 is 225. All right, let's try another one. Again, you might want to go back and take a look at the strategies Mrs. Peters used because we're going to solve 9 groups of 14. It's going to be kind of similar to our 9 groups of 15 above. Give it a try. And here we go. Mrs. Peters, when I solved that using the tens minus 1 set strategy, I got 126. I wonder if you used that strategy or maybe a different one. Now I want you to give 9 times 30 a try. Okay, well, when Mrs. Peters used the tens minus 1 set strategy to solve this, I got an answer of 270. All right, nice work, my friends. I want to remind you that finding a way, whether it's multiplication by heart, MobiMax, extra math, bunny times, whatever it is, a workplace, finding a way to practice your multiplication facts is really important for meeting that target of I'm learning to fluently multiply small numbers. Good work.